Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to open this conference. I'm proud because it's the first time in almost 20 years as a majority Conservative government. And it's been a long time coming. Now, I may be wrong, but I don't think we have too many shy Conservatives in the House today. We have proud Conservatives. Proud because we pulled together to save this country from ruin. So let me start by thanking you for everything you did and everything that you continue to do. Thank you because we were brave enough to fight for what we believed in. And crucially, the number 10 garden has been saved. We have consigned the Edstone to the scrap heap of history. What a night that was. You know, these days, people don't ask, where were you when England won the World Cup? Or where were you when the Berlin Wall came down? Do you know what they ask? This is what they ask. Where were you when Andrea Jenkins won Morley and Outward? Now we're in seats they said we'd never win. Bolton West, Cheadle, Solihull, the Gower, St Ives, Wells, Plymouth Moorview, and perhaps the sweetest victory of all, Kelly Tolhurst in Rochester and Stroud. It was an extraordinary night, an amazing victory. We won for our country, and everyone here can be so proud of the part that they played. Thank you. And I also want to thank all of those who've made this conference possible. We've always had such a warm and helpful welcome from this great city, the beating heart of the Northern powerhouse. So thank you to the Manchester Central team and the Greater Manchester Police. Thank you to the home team of Stephen Phillips, David Comerford, Kate Jenkins, and everyone at Blue Way. And thank you to Steve Bell, the conference chairman, and a relentless campaigner for this party. And Steve, you must be so pleased that your partner, Maria Caulfield, became an MP in May. Congratulations, Maria. Congratulations to you both. Now, judging by some of the placards and the noise outside, not everyone is delighted to see us here this week. But there's a serious point here. Yes, we have a majority in Parliament. But what about those who didn't vote for us? And what about those who did not vote at all? We need to address these questions as a government and as a party if we are to build on what we have achieved. I came into politics just over 10 years ago. And the reason I came into politics is because I believed in somebody called David Cameron. In David, I saw someone who had the intelligence, the vision, and the integrity to take this party forward. And someone who believed that to win back people, we had to appeal to their heads and to their hearts. Heads because we needed people to believe that we were competent and that we would make the right decisions to secure the economic recovery. And perhaps most important of all, as we stand here today, we needed someone who would keep our country safe in a dangerous world. And when I talk about hearts, I mean understanding and showing the compassion to protect our NHS, to improve our schools, and to reshape the welfare system to get people back into work. Now, when I look at our opponents, there's a problem. They promise everything. They promise this magic money tree, a tree that means we can just go on spending more and more and more and more and more. They promise an education system in which literally everyone wins prizes. And they promise a welfare system. They promise a welfare system where you can be better off sitting on the sofa than going to work. And you know what else? Even more dangerous than these other promises, they promise us that we have no enemies in the world, that we'll never have to defend ourselves. But it's not true. We do need to be able to defend ourselves. We do need an army. We do need NATO, and we do need Trident. But do you know what my main worry is? You know what keeps me awake at night? It's that we have a young generation of people in this country who just don't remember the 1970s. They don't remember the mass unemployment. They weren't there in a country without hope and without direction. The endless strikes, the rubbish piling up on the streets. Conference, it is our responsibility both to tell these young people of those risks and, more importantly, on behalf of those young people, not to let this country ever go back there again. We must not let it happen. We must not let it happen all over again. Head and heart, competence and compassion. That is why we exist, to provide security, stability and opportunity for everybody in our country. So my job now is to make sure that the party is ready to fight and win this battle of ideas. And in order to do this, there are three key steps. Step one, we need to maintain what we've got now, a world-class campaign machine that is good to go whenever it's asked. We must not get complacent. If we take our eye off the ball, we will lose. It's as simple as that. But it's not just about general elections. It's about elections happening every week and every year. The elections that you work so hard to win on our behalf. And amongst all those, we have the election for the next Mayor of London. And I guarantee you that we will continue to back you in every election up and down the country. And I guarantee you that we are going to back Zach. And let me tell you something else. Even after a hard-fought election, we are practicing what we preach. This party, our party, is debt-free, and that's the way it's going to stay. The second step to victory is this. In this digital age, we need to ensure that our message is personalized and communicated to each and every voter. This is the heart of modern campaigning, and it's a big reason why we won. We need to build on what we've learned, and we need to build our majority for the future. Now, the third step is perhaps the most critical of you all. It's about you, our members and our activists. And I thank you again. But I have to be frank. If we don't make some fundamental changes, then we face trouble ahead. Because the hard truth of the matter is that the average age of our membership is rising and the number of members is flatlining. The vast majority of our members live in safe seats. And in many areas, like major city centres, we barely have any presence at all. As chairman of this party, I am determined that this is going to change. We need to be bold, and now is the time. That's why after the election, we launched a review. This review is about being better at listening to you about the future of our party. Over 60,000 of you have responded online, and we continue to have meetings, including at this conference. But some themes have emerged. We now have hundreds of thousands of people communicating with us in different ways, through email, Facebook, Twitter, and political blogs. We need to bring those people into our family. We also need to think how we can better manage our membership and how to get associations to work together to make us stronger. This review will report early next year. But in the meantime, there is something that we can announce here and now. This is the Conservative Candidate Bursary Scheme. This is a real passion of mine. This is a scheme for providing grants of money to help candidates in marginal seats to support themselves and their families. We've started this scheme because I've seen firsthand what a huge commitment it is to be a candidate in a marginal seat. It's 24/7. It's rain or shine. And I don't want people's decision to go into politics to be dependent on whether or not they can afford it. So thanks to the incredible generosity of the Conservative Foundation, we already have a £250,000 fund for this Parliament and a promise of at least that amount for subsequent parliaments. So from now on, anyone in this country who shares our Conservative values can be a candidate, can represent our party, and can serve our country. It means, once again, that we practice what we preach, a party of opportunity for all. Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Conservative Party. You are the Conservative Party. And the reason I want to thank you all today is for what we have achieved, but more importantly, for what we will achieve together. Because you never rest. You never stand still. You always look forward. Let's make this week about shaping our country and a celebration that in troubled times, we live in the most vibrant, vigorous, and marvelous democracy. And let us never forget that this party, our party, is the oldest and greatest political party in the world, and we still have plenty of fire in our belly. Thank you very much.